Ready to give up some answers here. Y equals negative x. Just got to remember the rule. That's it. Just got to remember the rule. I don't know how much graphing is going to help. So where does my new point begin? Shoot. -25. -2, 3 becomes? -3, 2. Everyone, what's the rule? Switch them and change the signs. Yep, flip and change the signs. All right. I had this capital T with a 0, -2 there. Where's my new point? 27. Where's my new point? -3, 1. -2, 1. This is a translation. Where am I going on the x-axis? Nowhere. I'm not moving left or right. I'm just moving it down 2. That's it. So move this down 2. So -2, 1. Are you all, I don't know, have anybody picked up? I didn't mention this yesterday. I didn't know if anybody picked up, but instead of thinking about moving left, right, up, or down, you can just add the coordinates. -2 plus 0, 3 plus -2. You can just add the coordinates instead of visually trying to move it up and down, left, right. Yep.
Sorry, the B prime. It says all you're doing is going down, but the x coordinate has changed.
Again, these were my directions at the beginning. You always go from this point. Okay. -2, -2, that didn't change. You don't go from the previous point, right? We always go from the original point here. All right, that's what I said at the beginning. X equals -8. I did this on purpose to you since it did not fit on the graph. X equals -8 did, but maybe not your B prime. All right, so I want to make sure you can do the math in your head that says, all right, if I go this distance, where would I be on the other side of the graph? So let's hear from 1. Matt, what do you got for me, stud? -14, +3. The Y does not change, but again, ready? From -2 to -8, I'm moving 6 units. So go 6 units in the same direction from -8. You're at -14. Nice job, Matt. Anything else? And part D. Where do you end up? Maybe. There we go. 14, where do we end up? -6. Yep, and 9. Perfect. Left 4, up 6. Left 4, up 6. Or again, add the coordinates together. All right, when you're doing a translation, you can add the coordinates. All right, nice job. Anything there? Basic review. How do I use my compass to do a translation now? Ready? Here we go. Straight edges ready. If you forget the steps, you guys know I'm posting the videos one by one under the transformations folder on Aspen. Because there's going to be some sort of constructions on Tuesday's quiz. So if you ever forget any of these steps, look back. All right. How do I slide a figure using my compass and a ruler? Here's what you're going to be given. I'm going to give you a figure, in this case, triangle FDE. And remember what this was called yesterday? We drew them ourselves on the graph. That's a vector. Quick recap of what this is telling us. The vector tells us which direction to slide, and ready? The length, the distance you want to slide. So every single point on triangle FDE is going to go this way, that distance. Does everyone see what we're doing? So should my triangle end up over here? Should it end up on the other side of the line or the vector? No, it should end up somewhere over here. Because the vector's telling me you're going in this direction to us, the left, this distance. Let's pick a point. I'm going to start with point F. Let's move F first, because we're going to have to move each of the vertices separately. So everyone right now, take your compass and measure the distance of the vector. All right, how long is the vector? Measure that with your compass, please. right from the beginning to the end of the arrow. All good. Now put it on the point we're moving, point F. Don't open or close it. Keep that same opening, put it on point F. And you want to make your first arc. So that arc you just made, F prime is going to go somewhere on there. We just got to find exactly where. Because I know the distances match. All right, the distances match. Now I got to go in the right direction. So is it going to be here, here, here? That's the second step here. Everyone good so far? Now go back to your vector. Put the end of your compass on the start of the vector. And put the pencil point now on the point you're going to translate, so F. So you're measuring that distance right now. From the beginning of the vector to F. This is going to make sure we go in the right direction now. Everyone good? I'm going to go slow here because this is brand new. All good? Anybody think they know what's going to happen next? You want to predict? How am I going to get the point where F prime is going to be? I'm going to need a point of intersection, right? How do you think I'm going to get it? Just who cares? Just guess. How am I going to get it? Where do I have to move now? Ready? Move to the end of the vector because you're going in the same direction. And then, yes, make an arc that intersected that first one. And that is where F prime will be. All right, I'm still going to go slow here. Let's do point E next. Let's do point E. Let's move point E. So let's go back. Go ahead and measure the vector, the length of the vector. And some of you may be coming up with a little creative idea here to decrease the number of steps in this construction, but I'll talk at the end. And then let's go to point E. With that same length, let's go to point E. Let's make an arc there. I want to make mine in black. There we go. Now go from the beginning of the vector to E. That's going to be a short distance, so you're going to have to close your compass up here. So from the beginning to E. And then, yes, move to the end of the vector there, where the arrow is, make another arc, and that'll be E prime. Everyone all right? Let me know. And then now we do it for D to finish this off. And the beginning of the vector to D. Then go to the end of the vector and make your, and there's D prime. And take your straight edge. Let's connect the new vertices. And there's my new triangle. How we look, all right? Now I said at the beginning, is there a way maybe I could decrease the steps? Did you see a step you had to do over and over again? What step did you always have to go back and do first? Remeasure the vector, right? Every time, remeasure the vector. So I'm just throwing this out there. I am not definitely requiring it. So if you wanted to make this maybe go quicker and less steps, so here's our second one. You could just measure the vector at first and then go to each point now. The only thing I would worry about is you know which arc belongs to which point. That's the only thing I would worry about. All right, so I don't know if you want to do this method. I do it. Since I just did it from I literally just put an I there that represents, hey, that's for arc, that's for vertice I. All right. So if you want to do it that way, do all 4 of those at the same time, that's fine. And then find their points of intersection. Go ahead. I'll let you guys go so I can come around and help individuals out. But remember, can't flip over the line. It's got to go in that direction, that distance. Okay, nothing should be flipped over the vector. Time. If you go to that last section there, drawing vectors and define a translation. Some of you have already done this walking around, but take RSTU for me. Draw it, move it 2 units down and 3 units to the left, please. And label that R prime, S prime, T prime, U prime right now. No compass needed. All right, 2 units down, 3 units to the left. And then it says draw the vector that defines it. So I need a vector drawn that says you're going 3 units to the left, 2 units down. We did only one yesterday, so I wanted to make sure we got more examples today. How to actually draw that vector in now. Easiest way is to do what? Connect a pre-image with an image point using a vector. So from R to R prime using a vector. Is that always what you have to do? No. If you want to go away from the figure and just put a point, and from that point you go 1, 2, 3 to the left, 1, 2 down, and draw it that way, that is acceptable as well. All right, that shows me the distance and the direction. Yeah, Julia. No. Nope. All right, and then go ahead and do the same thing with the triangle EDF. Right 2, up 1. And making sure the vector is always going towards your image. And there's one last thing before you guys get going on the homework. There's one thing I have to just show you on the homework, but I just want to make sure people are finished with number 2. Can you guys go to page 14 for me? Page 14, which is part of your homework. I just want to let you guys know, because there's going to be questions. The pre-image is the dashed figure. The image is the solid figure. Okay, because that's going to count when you draw your translation vector. All right, so the dotted lines are pre-image. Solid line ones are the image, and you can get going on those right now.